Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the YS channel. So today, I just want to talk about real quickly. Just want to touch upon the recently released movie Joker, Folie, Deux, whatever. So it's a sequel to the 2019 movie called Joker. Directed by both movies are directed by Todd Philips and star Joaquin Phoenix, in the starring role as the Joker. Now, the Joker in this movie honestly is essentially inspired by the DC Comics The Joker. However, unless they do a third one, which, judging by its current box office performance, it's not gonna happen. They're two entirely different beings. Like this, so these movies, like especially the first one, it's like it tells the story of like a fucking like crazed loner that has like mental issues, and they're exacerbated, just by how the way society treats people with mental issues. He's shunned and he's like discriminated against, and then he kind of just snaps and he breaks, under the stress of it all, and it obtains his Joker personality or persona, and then that turns out to be like a rallying point for like the people of the city, and leads to like riots and shit, and kind of people understanding who he is and agreeing with him, kind of thing. So one thing leads to another. He finally gets arrested, and he's locked up. Now, the reason why it's called the Joker, again, the movies do have the rights to use like the DC comics, like characters, like licenses, like and likeness. It takes place in Gotham City. Gotham City. You have a Harvey Dent, and all that. And he ends up getting scarred and becoming Two-Face, kind of ish, And then you have Lady Gaga, who becomes a Harley Quinn. However, these characters, the origins in that do not relate to necessarily how they would directly from the comic material. It's basically, these could have been standalone stories, but they just threw a coat of DC comic pages over it, for marketing and licensing purposes to get more revenue. So, again, the first Joker movie, big box office success. I got like a budget of like maybe $100 million, probably less, I think, and it grossed over $1 billion, which is phenomenal, especially for an R-rated movie with that subject matter. This one, oh god, I don't even know where to begin with this. First of all, the decision to make it a musical, like, I don't fucking get it. Like, I'll be blunt, the Joker movie did not need a sequel. This is one of those movies where it just didn't need it. I mean, I get the reason why they did it. When something makes $1 billion, you're gonna want to make a sequel, but it just didn't need it. And you watch this, and it completely shits on the first one. Part of it, I think, like the people like that helped make it a success. And like a lot of these people tend to identify with the Joker character and his rationale, and kind of agree with it, which I don't think that was the intended reaction. It's people are like watching, it's like, I get it. You got what you fucking deserve. I mean, and that part of that rationale isn't wrong. This guy was kind of pushed to a snapping point. We all get it, right? In this movie, he's obviously already locked up in prison. He's being put on trial for his crimes. Blah, 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 blah. So, this movie does a couple things. The main one, it destroys and shits on everything that made the first one good. Because the first one is arguably a masterpiece for that type of, like, genre. It's a drama, but it focuses heavily, like, on just character. It's like a character-driven drama, I mean, Joaquin Phoenix won an Oscar, he fucking is phenomenal. This one destroys that completely. Even Joaquin Phoenix is like, yeah, this is not as good. And it's not a good sign when like the director is refusing input from DC Comics. Again, even the first one was, kind of pulled from DC Comics, very, not so much, just enough to say they did. In this one, he completely ignored them, and pretty much the talking heads at Warner Brothers. So you're going the kind of red flags like it's gonna be a shit show, and then like the fact they made it a musical. In a lot of ways, I feel like they made this movie as a fuck you to the general audience. They made the first one a success because like everything like again like drove people to that first one are not things they want people to gravitate towards. You know, especially the general audience that made it a success. They're like, no, we don't want these people getting behind this cause. Which, again, most people know it's a fictitious piece of artwork. You know, but again, you know, unfortunately, it's very relatable for a lot of people. And I don't think like the big heads in Hollywood like that. So they did everything they could to destroy that concept in their minds. And the best way to do that is to get this guy assaulted, beat up. And unfortunately, he gets raped in the movie. So spoiler alert. Sorry. He does get raped. He gets assaulted by one of the prison guards at Arkham. And he gets raped. So, you know, if this character, this persona was in any way sort of like something you looked up to as a hero, no, now your heroes are raped and he's a fucking prison bitch. You know, it's just character destruction. And it's totally like unnecessary now. As far as like, if this wasn't like a Joker movie, it was just like its own standalone thing. This is actually something you could believably perceive could happen to somebody, like, especially with that mental state. You know, unfortunately, these things do happen, especially in prisons. But, I mean, the Joker getting ass raped in prison by a prison guard. You know, like, all right, you've lost the plot here. Your movie's a fucking box office disaster. It's a box office bomb. You know, and you went out of your way to... I feel like you went out of your way to make it stupid and shitty on purpose. And if you did, job well done. You succeeded. Now, where they go on from here, I don't fucking know, man. There was talks about doing like a Harley Quinn spinoff from this universe, and like that's not gonna fucking happen. I'm like, it's just not. I mean, there was potential there. You know, the pairing of Joaquin Phoenix and Lady Gaga, that could have worked wonders. But what we got was a steaming pile of shit. Normally on our channel, we don't do current or temporary movies, but I just feel like we had this one just warranted making an example out of. However, with that said, if you're a fan of the movie, all the power to you. If you're not, you're entitled to your opinion, just like we are. However you like our content and reviews, please drop a like and subscribe. You know, help support the channel. We greatly appreciate it. Until the next.